Yo, what's going on YouTube? Master Chappy in here for a video. Been a long time coming since I dropped a video. Been so busy grinding for the season 3 for the salary cap grind, but might as well break down my team for you guys. And also just want to open up the opportunity. If you have any questions in the comments, let me know if there's something you're struggling to stop, anything you're struggling to do, or whatever it might be, Madden related. Let me know and I'll be happy to try and assist you. But the focus of this video is going to be on my roster and potential roster changes, as well as, some strategies when you are putting together a salary cap lineup and why everyone is just tanking their offensive line. So let's dive straight into it. First things first, the offensive line. As you can see, I've got 11 caps across the board until we get to the right side. And then we got a 10 and a 12, and those average out at about 11. There is a right tackle with only 11 cap. I don't have them at the moment. I will try and get them, but I don't know that you can necessarily buy them. But you could put another guard or a center or left tackle or somebody else. There are other 11 cap guys that you can put there. I know Zan did a video breaking down a right guard that he likes who's really heavy, but he's an 11 cap there at the right guard. But nonetheless, tight end position, I'm rocking with Jordan Cameron. Yes, from the week 3 version of him right here. Pretty good card. I was rocking Cook here for a long time, the 88 overall Cook. The only issue I ran into with Cook was his catching. Cook's catching was only like 82 or something like that, and he just dropped too many passes for me. Cook did have way better run blocking, but it's not too bad here for Jordan Cameron. He's got 74, so that's pretty solid. Another strategy you will see a lot of guys use is not to start a guy. Why do they do that? Why do I have Cameron here? Yes, Cameron does start for me, but why is he not starting on my roster? And there is one reason only for that, and that is to avoid a chemistry. Why do you want to avoid a chemistry? Why would you, chemistries are a great thing. They are awesome. I love chemistries. I just wish they were optional. So as you can see, Aaron Rodgers has conductor chemistry, but that costs 4 salary cap. And all these other chemistries, most of them are either going to cost you 2 or they're going to cost you 4. Some of them benefit you more than others and are more valuable than others. But it really just depends. For instance, let's see here. Let me go to one that I think is really just not that useful. I would have to say I'm not too excited about this BCA offense one. I mean, stamina, awareness really doesn't do anything for me offensively. The 2 strength is nice, but for 4 salary cap, my goodness, that is a complete waste. Whereas something like conductor, it costs 4 cap, but what you get benefit-wise from it is pretty freaking awesome as well. So that is why you'll see a lot of guys put their starters in the backup positions on the depth chart here. So at wide receiver, I pretty much tank fullback. Just got a cheap tight end there. That saves you cap there as well, putting a tight end there. And Terrell Pryor is a good cap saver at wide receiver. I've got the 92 Aaron Rodgers. I may upgrade at some point, but he has made all the passes I've needed, and he's been mobile enough. And I really, really like Aaron Rodgers as a salary cap quarterback. There's some other good options as well. One thing I recommend is at least a little bit of mobility from your quarterback position. You don't want a guy that just can't move, and a big reason is because there's so many good blitzes in the game, particularly those edge blitzes, that you want to be able to get away from that rusher. The other aspect of it is if somebody's playing coverage defense, you want to be able to beat them with your quarterback. You've seen True Boy take advantage with Russell Wilson in his gameplay. But yeah, you can definitely take advantage of a mobile quarterback depending on the type of defense they are playing. Halfback. This has been my toughest position, and I still haven't settled on anyone yet. Currently, I'm using Tony Dorsett. I was using the cheaper Ricky Williams. I've used David Johnson before. I've used Derrick Henry, most feared Derrick Henry. Henry was decent, but he fumbled sometimes, and he dropped a lot of passes. So I passed the ball to my running back a decent amount. So depending on how you play, may be where you want to go with this. Another guy you'll see people use is a bronze Darius Jackson. That dude's pretty tough, man. He's got some good chemistry, got some pretty solid stats. So if you are a guy that passes almost exclusively and you rarely ever run the ball, you may want to go that option. But if you are going to be running the ball a decent amount, I suggest getting a very good running back. I may actually be putting more cap into my halfback position because I want a guy that's going to catch the ball when I pass to him and is not going to fumble. Those are the two biggest things. And for me, ideally, a running back is going to be 89 plus speed, hopefully 90 plus speed, but at least 89 is kind of the lowest I will tolerate within my offensive scheme, but you may have different feelings there. Wide receivers, man. I'm going with Ed McCaffrey. Like Ed McCaffrey a lot. He's tall. He's got really good route running and really good hands. Very solid wide receiver. And then I got Randy Moss. You can use the upgraded version of Moss, but I really feel like this one gets the job done. Doesn't eat up as much cap. Then I've got Tim Brown here in the slot. This is another spot, the slot position, where I've kind of been flip-flopping. I had Brandon Cooks here. I've had, I've been debating, do I want to just get a really fast guy here? But I value that catch rating a lot in Madden because a lot of the routes I run, I need guys to just hold on to it and make a catch. So that is my offense. Let's hop over to special teams. We can go over that real quick. Got Tim Brown returning. No exclusive reason there. He's got a good rating there. He's not fast, but I have ran back a kick with him one time, surprisingly. Third down running back, kickoff specialist, nothing special there. So right here, you'll see I put Tucker at punter and Dixon at kicker, again, to eliminate the chemistry. He's got this clutch kicker chemistry, which you can't be iced, but that chemistry cost 4 cap. That's a lot of cap for something that is only going to be useful in one situation at the end of the game, and you need to make a game-winning or game-tying kick. It's just not worth 4 cap to me. It's that situation isn't going to happen enough, and it's not like you can't make an iced kick. You can still make an iced kick. To me, just not worth it. So let's hop into defense. Now, defense, this may be something I'll be changing up in the future. Right now, I've got a lot of players. What do I mean by that? I don't have a set formation. What you'll see a lot of people do is if they run dollar exclusively, they will have their personnel set for just dollar. So they might have 4 linebackers, but they might only have 1 lineman or no lineman. Because they're going to put Clowney at defensive end, and they're going to put Irvin at defensive end and run Barron and Dupree at the 2 linebacker spots in dollar. And then you wouldn't need a Strahan, and you can use that cap elsewhere. You wouldn't even need a 9 cap here. You can actually get a cheaper cap here at right end. I just like this guy because typically he will be in a quarterback spy. And if we look at him, a 9 cap isn't too bad, but he's got 82 speed. His power move is atrocious, but he's got 86 excel. And, I mean, he's a cheap guy, cap-wise, that can actually make a couple decent plays. So, definitely a decent little player. You know, there's something you can find sometimes, some rare gems that you like with lower caps that can make plays for you. For me, he's a decent quarterback spy, but definitely if I need to create more cap space, I will sub him out and get somebody cheaper in there. So that is one thing. And then the other thing with dollar, so you just wouldn't need Strahan, I guess, out of this lineup. And you could just have Atkins or get rid of Strahan and upgrade Atkins to something else and then upgrade these other spots. But that is one choice you have. If you run 4-4, you know, you might want to go 4 linemen, 4 linebackers, and, you know, 2 safeties, 2 corners. Or if you run 3-4, whatever you run. Some people will set it so they can just run that. The way I have mine set up currently, though, I am able to run several formations. I can run 3-4, and like I said, I can put this guy here and a quarterback spy, and I've got 2 good linemen, 4 good linebackers, corners, and safeties. I've got Blunt as my number 1 corner and Jalen Ramsey. I really value big hits. And Alexander and Sean Taylor get the job done for that in the slot spots. There is a better Sean Taylor out there. He is phenomenal. Unfortunately, I could not afford him at the time, and his cap is quite costly. So that is one thing as well. I was using Joseph for the longest time. Carl Joseph, the Raider version. I think he's like a 91 overall. I was using him for the longest time, but I was one over cap. And this dude, Neil, is pretty darn close to what Joseph brought to the team. And he's a little bit taller, actually, which is nice. And he's one less cap. So that was pretty sweet. And that's why I made that move. But again, if I feel the need to upgrade here in the future, I will make an upgrade video. But at this time, this is the squad I'm rocking with. The thing I like about him is I can go to a 3-4. I can even run 4-4. I'll have a couple guys out there that aren't the greatest. But at the D tackle spot and one defensive end that isn't the greatest, that's usable. I can run nickel. I can run dollar, dime. I mean, I can pretty much run majority of the sets in the game besides 4-3, and I don't have 4-3 in my playbook. I run a 3-4 base scheme. So this lineup allows me to run just about everything, and it gives me a little bit more diversability than what you'll find if you exclusively make a dollar lineup. So you can exclusively make a dollar lineup and get better players at each spot, or you can kind of go the route I went here, which is to have a more diverse lineup that allows you to go to a couple different formations depending on the situation. Again, I feel fine in a 3-4 with Blunt and Ramsey on the outside, and I feel fine with Sean Taylor in the slot in a nickel position because, again, he's going to be able to blitz and cause issues, or if he's in coverage, you know, if you're cross man, I don't really care about the man rating, and if you're in zone, I mean, as long as he's in the right zone, they typically make the right play. Same thing here with Alexander. This dude, Most Feared Alexander, is definitely a sleeper. 90 speed, his catching is awful. So just to let you know, his man coverage is not good. But he's got 90 speed. He's 6'1", 80 tackling, and he's got some really nice hit power. So he's going to be very helpful in run support, 90 hit power. So if you do run a dollar exclusive formation, I recommend having some corners and safeties that can hit, to give yourself a little bit of support in the run game. Linebackers, I got Barron, I got Bud Dupree. Dupree, I was using the gold version for a long time. He did phenomenal for me. This elite version just does a little bit better. Anthony Barr is another really good option, and this is typically the guy I'm going to use her. It's going to be Dupree. Dupree, I recommend if you're going to go for a user linebacker, I recommend going with him even over Barr. However, if you are going to user and sometimes let the computer play the position, I recommend going with Anthony Barr. That's kind of how I am with between the two of those guys. I mean, they're pretty much considered the best user in the game, the best user cards, Bud Dupree and Anthony Barr. Which way you want to go, that's up to you. But for me, I feel like if you exclusively user, go with Dupree. And if you sometimes let the computer play the spot, go with Barr. Now, Irvin has been phenomenal for me, and Clowney is awesome as well. But you can definitely go with some other options. You can also put an outside linebacker, our outside linebackers at the defensive end spots if you so choose. And at safety, again, we got Neil and we got Reed. Reed, hit power, Neil, hit power, and at the corner. So you can kind of see the trend defensively for me is a lot of hit power. I just want to force fumbles. If someone is beating me underneath with the dink and dunk passes, if you're getting big hits and only giving up 3 or 4 yards, you can pretty much live with that because over the course of the game, they're probably going to fumble once or twice, and hopefully you can recover one of those, and in the run game, it's also going to help. So that's pretty much my team. I'm doing okay so far. I had a tough L streak recently, but I'm at about 2-to-1 ratio win-loss, which is not good. I was at a 6-to-1, and it's just a nasty loss streak, and it went down to 2-to-1. So we're going to get back at it, though. We're going to bounce back. Got about 250K coins right now, and yeah, this is my squad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A lot more content coming here in the near future. And we're going to have some fun with this. So, again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And when we get to the gameplay breakdowns, these are going to be awesome. But thank y'all for the support. Till the next time, it's your boy, Monster Chappy. We gone!